Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to get started. If you would like to take your seats, put them back where they were, and then sit in them. Hey, I will warn you guys, I occasionally do the dad humor. In real life, I'm a substitute teacher. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get our judges seated, and I'm going to explain how this is going to go down. Welcome to the test run of the Gong Show. I see people who are probably old enough to remember that on TV. Nice. Okay, so our version of this, the AnthrOhio version, you will notice that there's a couple of signs here. You can, on your phone, you can either come up and quickly scan the nice little symbol there, or you can go to gong.scalefeather.com. What this allows you to do, as we choose people to come up, this is kind of the next level beyond open mic. Everybody will start out, we're going to start out with roughly 3 minutes. You, the audience, get to have the joy of pretty much rickrolling people like you did in elementary and middle school. It becomes a little bit of a popularity contest. If you vote them up, they get more time. If you vote them down, they get their time taken away. If they get too much time taken away, the gong goes off, and it's like, thank you, please drive through, you've been voted off the island. Now, just to keep things rolling here, our two wonderful staff members here, Drycath and Citrine, also have their hot little fingers on the gong button. So for those of you guys who don't know me, I'm Killanon Griffin. I have the joy of, I've been in this fandom a while. My first big event was Albany AnthroCon 1 in '97. Yeah, I had it before Kage got his greasy little, whatever cockroaches have on him. And I've been in this fandom so damn long that I think my first fur meet might have been held on an ark. Now, we've decided, working with some people like Chris Bunny, Citrine, Alkali, you guys have been rocking it at open mics the last couple of years. They've been running some, we've been running some. We're trying to give you guys more opportunities, a little bit more guidance. Unlike open mic, where you don't really get much feedback except for the occasional bit of, after set heckling. This, you're going to find out what people think. You guys remember the show The Real World? What happens when people start being real and stop being nice? So for people just coming in, there is a site that you can get on to participate. You get to vote on people. I'm going to hand this over to Drycath for a moment so he can kind of explain the system as best necessary, and we'll go from there. As we're not speaking Welsh here, I'd like to buy a vowel.
Alright, I need to scan it. Hold it on the farm. You don't understand. gong.scalefeather.com.
Should we do a test run first?
We can do a test run, I suppose. So, you'll get 3 minutes by default. Anyone out there can give you a little more time by hitting that upvote icon. You can hit it twice. If they don't like it, they can brutal.
Wow. Say hello to evolution. Okay, guys. Start thinking, those of you, make sure you're logged in. Start thinking who would like to get up here.
Oh, I typed it in.
Raise your hands. Come on, we need victims.
I'll do it.
Do it.
Chris! Hi! How are you doing today? Tonight? Are all of you good and drunk? Yeah! Great. That means don't slip up and accidentally gong me. That would be a dick move. Good, good. I'm glad we're all in agreement. I don't need this mic. I hate using mics. They look like robot penises, and I only like animal penises. Let's be honest.
It's not here.
It's okay. It's okay. Although, it is kind of weird. I find it so weird. Okay, I grew up in Michigan. Michigan's claim to fame is fucking cars. Alright, listen. I love Michigan. It's cute. It's fun. Living there is fine. There's a shit ton of trees. Whatever. But the key is, it's kind of like that jock in high school that peaked on the football team, and they're still kind of trying to pretend that it's totally the big game when it is not the big game, and they're working in middle management, and it's really sad. Yeah. I know. But the key is, everyone talks about fucking cars. Everyone talks about cars. And that's fine. I don't mind. Love what you love. It's amazing to love what you love. Be a furry. Be into dicks. Be into feet. Be into weird macro situations where you're fucking yourself with a skyscraper. That makes me so happy that people are into that. But I don't give a shit about cars. I just don't. And that's fine. But I was like, cool. I don't care about cars. What can I do? And I found the furry fandom. And I'm like, oh my god, the furry fandom. People that are into like weird shit. They're into super weird shit. They're into weird shit. Like somebody having their shoes tied together and their pants falling down. And they're all like, oh no, my pants are down in public. Don't look at my giant erection. This is the worst thing ever. And when it's all said and done, I get into a furry convention, I start talking to people, and somebody's like, yo, check out, I got this V8.6, dual 80 carry under the hood, it's real fucking dope. I'm like, son of a bitch! Fucking cars! I don't get it! Confuses me. But it's fine. It's fine. I don't mind at all. Because furries are a gentle bunch, they're just really weird. But furries are really cool, but they know how to actually hold their limits, weirdly enough. I know plenty of you are like, no, I know a guy. And you're like, I know a guy. That's cool. But as a whole, because the craziest convention I have ever been to was called Camelot Gardens, which was a pony convention back when ponies were first starting to become like a thing for older people. Camelot Gardens was a fucking mess, a fiasco, if you will. The guests that they had Andrew WK on staff. For those of you who don't know who Andrew WK is, he's a butt rock artist who has nothing to do with the show. He just likes to party, do coke, and smoke weed. But he was there. This is the first night I get there. It is pre-game night, Thursday night, not a crazy night, not even Saturday. I get there, we're talking to our hotel room, some dude wanders by, he's got a fucking cooler. But he's like, what's in that cooler? He's like, oh, just like Sunny D and shit. And my buddy's like, bullshit, follow him. So he's trouncing along. We follow him to his room 2 Hunsky. That's important, remember it's room 2 Hunsky. So, we get to room 2 Hunsky, and we go in there, and there's these 2 dudes on the bed arguing about who best pony is. He's like, yo motherfucker, Clyde Sparkle would destroy Piggy Pie in a fight. He's like, oh fuck you, Piggy Pie would trounce Clyde Sparkle. And then there's some dude sitting over in the corner, so we wander over to him, we get a drink, we sit down, we're all like, what's up man? He's like, hey, Like, how you doing? He's like, oh, you know, chilling. It's all good. It's all good. And he's all like, hold on 1 minute. Reaches into his back pocket and lays an Uzi on the table. And we're all like, whoa!
What?
So, cool. And he's like, no, man, y'all good, y'all good. I just ain't ever gonna get caught not holding it again, you know what I mean? Not since that time down in fucking Florida. They left me and I did a dime for that shit. Fuck that. Anybody wanna come with me? Back. And we're all like, yo, crazy. At which point, the heated debate over here gets silenced by him and he goes, hey, yo, Uzi still in hand. Fluttershy's best pony, motherfucker! It's like, you have the gun. Fluttershy is now best pony. Following that exact moment, not 5 seconds after that happens, a man comes running in. He's like, oh, hey, do you guys have any Vicodin or heroin? And we're all like, no. Not at all, dude. He's like, well, do you want me to share some with you if I find it? We're like, what can we say, man? Friendship is magic. That was pregame night. Not only did we wind up in room 2 again on Friday night, because we officially turned room 2 into the party room. We demanded room 2 was in the party room. We were wandering down the hallway going, room 2 Everyone knew room 2 was the party room. So when we get there on Friday, I knock on the door and I'm like, room 2 and the door swings open and who's there? Andrew W. motherfucking K. And he's like, hey guys! And we're like, damn! And what do we see with Andrew W. K? He's like, what's going on? Anyways, have fun, guys. Look, I promise it's not that hard. If I can suck and get gone, anyone can. Have fun.
Give it up for Chris Buddy, guys. I got a couple of comments there. Okay, furries. We split between the car furs, who know everything, and the ones whose only experience with cars deal with the back seat.
Look, man, I don't give a shit. I don't care about cars. I'll take any workplace.
Quick pony thought for you.
What's that?
I have a friend who, when he was in the Marine Corps, was one of the guys on the Military Bronies React video that was on YouTube. And I reminded him at that point, because he joined the furry fandom through the Bronies, and I'm like, hey, I'm a griffin. You know, according to the D&D manual, griffins eat horses and ponies. He's like, you wouldn't eat Rainbow Dash, would you? And I'm like, tastes like chicken and Skittles. Okay, let's find our next victim. What's your name?
My name is Ernor.
Hello everyone, my name is Ernor, or as Alkali would probably introduce me, ladies and gentlemen, some asshole with a microphone! And that is also true. I've been in the fandom for about almost a decade now, and as some of you may know, you may have seen me in the Artist Alley, I am an artist. And like a lot of you guys, I am on Fur Affinity. It's kind of a trash fire website, but there's really nothing else we have to go to, you know, other than Weasel, Ink Bunny, So Furry, DeviantArt, E621, Rule 34, you know, all those other sites that I just mentioned that are possible alternatives. But we're all stuck with Fur Affinity. And every day, I like to go online and, you know, post some positive comments. Because, really, I'm going to get real with you guys here for a second. I rely on Fur Affinity to get feedback on my artwork. I almost never get any comments. That's as rare as seeing Alkali without a glass of tequila in his hand or his top hat. So I like to go online at least once a day and leave some positive reinforcement. Even if it's just, hey, nice work, or ooh, your color is very vibrant, or wow, I didn't know dicks came in that kind of color. What kind of Prisma color did you use to achieve that shade? And can I buy it on Amazon? So I like to do this at least once a day. Well, as some of you guys may know, in order to see everything on Fur Affinity, you have to have your filters turned off. And sometimes this leads to some weird but kind of entertaining stuff, like, you know, some unusually close shots of coffee or a big gay fox enthusiastically jizzing rainbows onto Donald Trump's face. Or, Putin fucking a mechanical turtle. But one day, in the morning, this backfired on me very hard, in a way I could never have planned for. As I'm scrolling through the list of new artwork that was posted within the last half an hour, what appears on my screen at 7 o'clock in the morning when I've just rolled out of bed and my consciousness is wide open, bam, ass. Big life, real ass in my face. And oh wait, what's that coming out of it? That's right, it's a big pile of shit. Coming right out of the ass, and the camera, this was not a shy cameraman, he got right in there. He wanted you to know exactly what you were looking at. And this wasn't some, unplanned turd. They had obviously been working on it to capture this image for a long time. This was the Olympic champion of long, brown, caramel turds, dropping into the toilet like the job prospects of some idiot who majored in history and minored in art and expected to get a full-time paying job. And now has to do this furry shit for something of a living. And as I'm staring at this horrible sight, I'm horrified. And of course, I click on it. Because I'm a historian. And like you guys, some of you may know, historians are trained to ask questions. And a few immediately spring to my mind. There's a picture of poop on the website. How many people have seen the poop? Is there more poop? Is there a gallery of poop? Are there comments about the poop? Does the poop have favorites? How many favorites does it have? Who would favorite a giant pile of shit that was posted 15 minutes ago? Who is waiting on tenterhooks for the latest pile of shit? And are they not satisfied with the latest tweets from our dear president? So I click on this thing, and my hand to God, it was posted 15 minutes ago. It had 56 views and 6 favorites. 6. I don't get that many views on my artwork sometimes. I don't get that many favorites on my artwork sometimes. And yet, this gallery, and it was full of poop. There was lots and lots of poop. You better believe it. And I immediately had a little, I don't want to call it a panic attack, that's too strong of a word. Let's call it an erotic existential crisis. Let's call it that. So I immediately got up and I ran out of the house. I literally put on my running shoes and I fucking ran. I ran to the graveyard because if my thoughts are going to be dark and depressing, I might as well be surrounded by a bunch of fucking dead people. As I'm running through the graveyard, and as I go throughout the rest of my day, I can't help thinking about it. It returns to my mind again and again. And I'm just like, when I get home, I sit down. This is bullshit. That pile of shit got more favorites than I did. I worked my ass off, making big tits and hot dick and whatever else somebody wants to pay me to draw, and that includes big feral furries, tit-fucking hermaphrodites who are coming into their own mouths and may or may not be jizzing rainbows. Hey, if they're willing to pay money for it, I'll draw it. I have very few stipulations. And I can't wrap my head around it. Man, maybe I should quit the fan. And the moral of the story, ladies and gentlemen, is no matter what, how badly you feel about your skills as an artist or as a performer, at least you're not being a literal shitposter.
Erno, I want to thank you because you have literally answered the age-old question about what happens when the shit hits fans.
You create furry porn artists!
Okay. Who's our next contestant? Thanks. This is somebody I've known for a long time. Now we'll see if we can laugh with him, because in my history with him, I've usually laughed at him.
Yeah, let's go with it.
Hey everybody, I'm Brad. Much like Bill, you guys here, I do a lot of storytelling stuff. I got a couple I wanted to share with you real quick. I'm going to tell you a little bit of how I come from a small town. I'm gay, of course. But let me tell you how we made our whole neighborhood look bad, me and my boyfriend. We come home one night, and all the neighbors all piled up around this one house in the backyard. It's like, I get out of the car, I'm going to walk over and see what's going on. So we go over in there. There's a coyote hiding back behind this house. We're pretty sure it's a coyote. We heard it, we saw it. It's just a coyote. There's something back there. We're trying to play with the kids. So, me and him, we're the country boys. These are all city gay. So we're like, okay, give me the flashlight. So we get back in there, start looking around, and we hear a dreaded call, this beast. The beast that everybody was so fearful of. This dreaded call. From in front of the house, we hear a collective scream, there it is! It was an owl. We just walked back out. It's nothing, people. Alright, I'm going to give you guys a quick option. Who wants to hear how I lost a family job working for my family, or how a bee almost got my butt arrested?
Yeah.
The bee! The bee? Alright, here we go. Beautiful sunny day. I'm a motorcycle guy. I love my bike. I had a heart. Forward control pegs. Real comfortable. Ride like a recliner. I get out on the highway, winding through the mountain road, wear shorts like a dumbass, like these things. And when you're on a bike, it's like that. Big neck thing. Well, I picked up a tiny little hitchhiker that I did not know anything about. A little yellow jacket apparently. He hit the inside of my pant leg and rolled up in. And started looking for his stray out. Well, he went further in. I didn't know this. Well, apparently, while I was going around a turn near where a police officer happened to be parked, this little guy decided to announce that he's with me by spinning me in the Jolly Ranchers. Needless to say, I was in the middle of a turn on a motorcycle, and it just suddenly stands up. Then it goes across the line, and of course, there's a truck coming over, oh crap, truck, back down. And this attracts the attention of the officer. So I get back in the lane, and I'm, like, ooh, this is bad, I gotta do something. Well, the crowd starts moving. This little guy hit me a second time, bam. Oh, now I got a problem. So I just dropped out of gear, full throttle. Now the cop from the cop's view, this Harley sees him coming out of the woods and just went wide open down the road. I'm not paying attention to my ears. I'm not realizing there's even a cop back there. I'm just like, no, there's something in my pants. I gotta get out of here. So I'm gonna do a quarter mile down the road. There's a patch of woods. I'm gonna hide there. It gets me out of my pants. So I raced down to that piece of woods. I actually Jackie Chan this thing. I slammed on the brakes, dropped the kickstand off the bike, over the guardrail, into the woods. Think how fast a fat guy can move with inspired properly. I get into the woods. I start to pull my pants down. I get right about here. I get hit from behind. Face down in the mud. My arms are being yanked behind my back. Somebody just grabbed me. I didn't hear banjos. I was supposed to hear banjos before this shit happened. So I started struggling. I happened to look up between my legs and I could see a shoe and a dress pants and a police officer. I'm like, oh crap, what the hell? What did I do? And of course I realized, oh crap, this is bad. So he stacks the couch on me, spins me around, plants my butt down in the mud. And he's like, why the hell were you running? I go, I wasn't running, there was a bee in my pants. He paused and just blinked and looked at me. He's like, what? There's a bee stinging me in my crotch on my pants. He's like, that's the dumbest excuse I've ever heard. I go, no, seriously. He takes a stick. The laughter in this guy's face when he spotted that yellow jacket. Not only did he do that, he called his partner up. So now I got two officers looking at my butt in the mud with a bee in my pants. Well, no, fortunately the cops called off the other guys. They called to come support them because I'm sure they all would have had a laugh once they got there. They let me go. I got my pants back up, and they walked me back to my bike and let me go with a warning with a lot of laughter on their face. And I'm starting to ride down the road, and I realized that these guys are going to have to fill this report out when they get back to the office. I am sure, I've been in the state patrol offices many times working for these guys, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to find that someday when these guys go, "Thank you!" I'm going to do the other story since I haven't did the Gong yet. How I lost my one job. Don't get mad at me, vegetarians, okay? This is just the life I grew up with. I worked in a place we cut up deer after they were hunted. Well, this guy brings in a deer. Really, really small deer. And he's like, "Oh, do you need help getting it?" "Nope, I got it." So, needless to say, when it ended up coming time to turn the steak into hamburger or whatever the guy wanted, jokes started flying. And I mean, between us. Well, they're supposed to stay between us. Well, we get done, and my boss, the guy who runs the place, says, "Lance, call the guy and tell him we got him ready." "Oh, sure, okay." I walk up to the phone, grab it, pull it off the handle, dial the guy's phone number. "Mr. So-and-so, this is Ravkin down at the villa. We'll meet you up. Your dog is complete." Hang up the phone. Oh, man, did I get ringed out for that one. I walk back into the cotton floor, and did you just say his dog is dirty? Did I? Yeah, you did. Oh, he was mad when he got in there. Oh, man, what else we got going on? Oh, 45 seconds, I'm almost dead. Let's see what other stories can I tell about my boyfriend. Never mind.
I don't know, I'm not so worried about the DOG in the food. I'm more worried about the MSG in the food. Now, we got a young lady here who'd like, what's your name, darling?
Jordan!
Jordan! Come and join us.
Yes!
Hi, everybody.
Hi!
So who out there is the only child?
No!
I was.
You lucky son of a bitch. I'm not the only child, okay? And you know what? How you know you're not the favorite child? That's the worst, okay? You want to know how you're not the favorite child? Alright, what did your mom pack you for lunch when you were a kid? My mom packed me a sandwich with ketchup. Just ketchup and bread. Want to know what my brother got? My brother got deli meat. I got ketchup and bread. And then I would throw away that sandwich. And then my friend would go home and tattle on me, and I get a whipping because I threw away that sandwich. Because they're starving children in Africa. Give them the sandwich. I don't care. It's nasty. And I asked my mom this day, "Mom, why did you give me ketchup sandwich?" She said, "You like ketchup?" "Yeah, I want tater tots." And she was like, "No, like you just said you wanted ketchup, and I asked you what you wanted for lunch." I was 3! Of course I didn't know what the heck I wanted. I was 3! So, like I said, the golden child, he can get away with anything, right? Of course, my brother, who can get away with murder and all this stuff, I come home 5 minutes late, and of course, you know what's there waiting for me? My mom. "Where you been?" "Out studying." "In that shirt?" "My work shirt from McDonald's." "Who you hanging out with?" "Cheryl?" "I heard about Cheryl. Let me tell you something about Cheryl. She'd be walking up in the street, I'm like, she goes to Catholic school. Where are you hearing this dirt?" And my mom's like, "Well, just let you know, down at the store, I can hear all the stuff about your little friends." "What store? Where do I need to shop at? Because clearly, I'm not in the right place." So, at one point in time, too, I accidentally knocked over an ugly woman in a wheelchair. Yeah, that's what I did. So, one beautiful summer night, one day, I went to go to our little local IGA store, and I was getting so much stuff because, you know, when you're not the favorite child, you don't get room in the fridge to put your food. So you have to buy a day, okay? You have to go out the store and get that food for that day. So I went ahead, went to the store, and it was really crowded. It was like some type of sale. I don't even know what was going on. So I'm making my way through the crowd, and I got a big old booty right here, okay? Yeah. And I'm just making my way through. And as I'm going through, I see this woman in a wheelchair, and I said, "Oh, hey, miss, I need to get around you so I can go get some food." And she's looking at me, nothing. Like, nothing's going on, nothing's in there. She has a little service dog. I'm like, "Hey, I need to get around for food." Nothing. All right, so I take my big old booty here, get in real tight, start scooching my way, and out of the corner of my eye, I just see flailing. And I turn around, and this woman in the wheelchair is on the floor. And I was like, holy crap. Now let me tell you guys something. The crowd turns on you when there's an elderly person on the floor like that, okay? As soon as the woman hits the floor, all of a sudden it's like, me and the old lady. And I'm like, crap. And then all of a sudden, they're like, did you hear that? She just pushed that old lady down. Oh my God. And then all of a sudden, Mr. Manager, this big burly guy, did you just knock this old lady down? Sir, I have no idea. I am so sorry. You just knocked this lady down. I saw her knock her down myself. Me and Trish both saw her knock her down. She ripped out the girl's weave. Yeah, she took out my weave. I live in the ghetto, if you guys haven't noticed. So, of course, the police were called because the woman couldn't speak. I didn't know that. The woman, the old lady on the floor, didn't speak. And the service dog did nothing. He just sat there and panted. And I said, what service are you doing? Your owner's on the floor. Look alarmed. Look alert. Ask for a treat or a tummy rub. Anything help me out here. So the police were called. And I, of course, get called out because all of a sudden there's witnesses everywhere. And it's very awkward saying, sir, my booty was just too big. I was trying to squeeze into this tight space. And my booty was just out there, and you know, the thunk, just kind of squeezing through. Didn't go well for me. So,
You did your best.
did my best. Well, the police decided to take the tapes, and I got banned from IGA. And my grandma, God bless her soul, comes in and goes, why were you banned from IGA? What happened there? I knocked over an old lady in a wheelchair. Sorry, Grandma. Love you. Love you. So, when you're not the favorite child, Grandma also notices that too. So one year for Christmas, my brother, he gets like $25. He's all like, I got money. Now, I'm 21, he's 23. So you want to know what I got from Grandma for Christmas? Diet pills. That's correct. Diet pills. Because then when my grandma comes up to me, she's like, you used to be so small, child. So small. But now you're... What do you say, Grandma? I'm just saying you just need to lay off that pound cake a little, honey. Yeah, these diet pills will help. Thanks, Grandma. And of course my mom's like, now what you say to Grandma? I love it. I'll lose weight tonight. I'm gonna call my therapist. My poor therapist. The stories I have to tell her, all the horrors, all the traumas, and she goes, do you know you should do stand-up? Because your stories are just horribly hilarious. Thanks, therapist. Hey! Alright! I'm gonna be okay! Yeah! So I work with the animals. And yeah! And I see some crazy stuff. My favorite story is when my doctor passed out right in the middle of the waiting room trying to revive a macaw. So Christmas Eve, everyone. Christmas Eve. It's time for a Christmas miracle. And I'm up there releasing a patient being glamorous and saying, Miss, I hope Fido is feeling well tonight. And this woman comes in and she's like, oh my God, my macaw! And lays this dead macaw on the receptionist's desk, who's a brand new receptionist. And the receptionist goes, my doctor was in the back, and he saw this, and his instinct just leapt into action, and he ran across the lobby, and he tripped over the rug, and he fell flat down on the ground. But then he popped up like a daisy. He came to life. And when he came to life, he started doing CPR on that bed. And he did mouth to mouth. And he's going, you will live today. You will be the Christmas miracle. And he's doing CPR in the lobby in front of everybody on this bird. He takes the bird in the back. There's nothing we can do. I bring the bird into the owner, and I say, I'm sorry. Owner, on the ground, they won't take me instead! Why? She threw a couple trash cans, tossed it, destroyed the room, and then kind of left. So, yeah, that was not a Christmas miracle, I'm sorry. To deceive you. But we see a lot of fun, crazy things. Sugar glides always come in women's boobs. Why, I don't know why. They're never nice boobs. Okay? They're never like the nice little, they're saggy, braless, maybe a crackheady. Never in a pouch. And they're always mangled. And then when you want to say, like, Miss, I need to look at the thing, you gotta pull it out. No, he's comfortable. More stories for me later.
Okay, guys, let's give it up for Georgia, who is on her over assault. Okay, we have a gentleman here who wants to come up. Guys, I'll remind you, if you want to come up, please raise your hand, because unless I have time to talk in between, I'm going by what I see. So come on up.
Okay, guys, I don't even know how con themes come about, but this one takes place with Hyena, Jaru, and Maury, and broadcast with also. And they went to the Blue Gorge State Park in Georgia, and they had a great time there, and that's where they got the idea of doing parks and recreation. And, you got a pretty mouth.
That's what I said 13 years ago. You can ask my ex-Gong that, he may answer.
Really? Okay, I'm gonna break the magic. I told you this game was gonna be gone. But you want to continue on. What did that tell you?
To quote the Addams Family, Gomez, stop torturing yourself. That's our job.
Oh my God, I know that word. Just get it, push, be gone. I wanted to hear how we get. Unfortunately, the banjo's ruined. Well,
after that, I just have to fall on my knees and pray for deliverance. Okay, we got another volunteer.
There's a reason he's wearing a skirt, you know.
It's a kill, laddie. When the Scots visit your room later tonight, you're going to be sticky and confused, and we're going to leave smelling the lanolin.
Okay, how's everybody doing out there? Alright, as you can tell, I'm skewing a bit older than a lot of the people in the crowd. I like to consider myself one of the OGs, original geeks. I started back in the days of Speed Racer. Anybody remember Speed Racer? Yeah! That's what got me into all of this shit, all of the fandoms. I blame Speed Racer. Because think about it. He's got the car, he's driving through water, jumping over fire. And yet every single episode, his little brother is in the trunk with the monkey. I keep thinking, is there going to be an episode where one day he's driving, he's like, I smell something weird. He opens up the back and there's just a monkey eating the brain of a dead boy. I don't know, maybe it's me. Then I graduated to Star Trek. My very first Star Trek convention, I saw the Klingons. They were absolutely amazing. They had the language, they had the uniforms, they had the makeup and weapons. I wanted to be just like them. But I'm lazy, so I'm just spending the entire con following them around. I don't know the language, I don't know anything. I'm shouting out fruits and vegetables. Kumquat, kiwi, tomato, Snooki. Eventually I run out of fruits and vegetables, start calling out shoe names. Puma, Reebok, by the sword of Payless. Of course, over the years, this leads to other geekdoms, other fandoms, until one night I find myself in a geek bachelor party. If you have never experienced a geek bachelor party, let me give you an idea. We have strippers. They're dressed up like Princess Leia standing in the corner. We got lines of blood with pixie sticks. Eventually the hookers, or dancers rather, get bored and one of them comes over and is like, you know, we're here for a reason. Do you guys want to, like, I don't know, do something? At which point my friend goes, 7. Ooh. But you get a saving throw. 13. Looks like you're going to have to fuck the wizard. And believe me, it's not a fun ride. I've been there. So, you got your Star Wars, you got your Star Trek, you got your Speed Racer, you got all these things. They permeate your brain to the point where it kind of seeps into your real life. I'm sure all of us have real life jobs, real life relationships. And speaking of relationships, I'd like to throw out this idea in regards to taxes. I think your taxes should be based on the level of geekiness to the person you're involved with. For example, if you come to a con and pick up a guy who's in a homemade bunny suit and you sleep with this guy, or worse, someone who's doing geek stand-up comedy and you sleep with him, you shouldn't get a bill from the government. You should get a pony and a thank you note. Yeah, so, as are we all, sister, as are we all. So, now, commercials. We've all grown up on commercials. I actually had an opportunity to work as a voiceover actor on a commercial one time for a kitty litter commercial. It seemed all well and good. I was like the voice of the second cat to the left. I had no idea what the commercial was until I actually saw it. So, it's this commercial. Family goes, we're going to go on vacation for a couple of days. We've got the good cat litter. Everything should be fine. So they leave. The cat then calls up all of his cat friends, has this giant cat party, got cats swinging from the chandeliers, and there's like a line to the litter box. And my question was always, okay, the humans eventually come home, and they're like, I think Mr. Whiskers might be sick. Either that or, honey, your drunk brother Billy broke into the house again? Oh, God. So, now, let's see. What else do we got to talk about here, folks? I know. We've got the idea of zombies. How many remember when zombies were big? Really? Just one person? Am I the only one who actually lived through the zombie apocalypse? I don't think they're big now, but there was a point.
Still big where I live from.
Yes. Okay. Now you gotta think about your different categories of zombies. You got your vegetarian zombies who are going around looking for grains. You got your meteorologist zombies going around talking about the rains. Oh, you think these are bad? I've got enough time up here that I can continue to keep making this into a race to the bottom. So, now that we're done with the dad zombie jokes, it's been a while. I'm going to go ahead and just gong myself at this point, but I do want to thank you. I am Moose. If you happen to see me out in the bar, I do accept free drinks. And gong.
Alright, race to the bar. Moose, that was amazing. My personal favorite Klingon captain was the captain of the Empire Nada. Toast to Toby. Alright, who wants to go up next? I've known this person very well for very little time, but we got to know each other quite well because I've seen his dick. Everybody, give it up for Cornell! Right now. Oh, hey. No? You want it? You want it?
Hello, my name's Cornell!
That's very much not original because I definitely started the last set that way. Also, when did you see my dick?
Oh, yeah, you were asleep.
Oh. That was, okay, that's fair. See, I'm an honor. People see my ass. Or inside it. Like, that's what usually goes on. What's going on there? Damn it, I already had like an honor space joke planned for this and it's been ruined. So, I gotta apologize right away because I've only had one drink tonight. It was just a bottle. It was a pretty big bottle. I did finish it. What was it called? Captain Morgan? Yeah, I only had one of those bottles. So, we'll see. I may not be on your level yet.
You didn't share.
Thank you. I grew up in a tiny little town as well. Who grew up in a small town? Let me just see. Yeah. How many of you grew up in a small town less than 1,000 people?
Yes.
Yes. I grew in the town of Stewart, Illinois, population 300. It is small. There is a sign when you're leaving when you're coming up on the interstate. It says exit Stewart, and it says very clearly no services. Just so that you don't accidentally visit my town. There is nothing for you there except this story. So down the street from my house, there was a man. His name was Pete. He was an older man, very heavy set. He had a Pomeranian dog with training wheels. Not very important to the story, but it helps sort of give you an idea of what this kind of guy is like. He is a recluse. He does not talk to anybody on the street, except for this occasion right now. He came up to my neighbor one day. Before I get into this part, I set up our Wi-Fi at my house when I was 12 years old. And when you are a 12-year-old, passwords are inconvenient. And if you're going to set up Wi-Fi, why would you put a password? So we had unrestricted Wi-Fi for our house. And by that I mean the neighborhood had unrestricted Wi-Fi. And Porno Pete came over to my neighbor's house and said, "Hey, could you ask the Ellises to buy a Wi-Fi booster, please? I'm getting some pretty great porn off of it." There's a lot to unpack here, but we're going to start off with, this is the first time we're talking to the neighbors, and you're going over and openly admitting that you are stealing our internet. What's your strategy here? To admit that you're using it to watch pornography? At least let me see what you're looking at. It's got to be worth it. So we bought a Wi-Fi booster. We felt like it was the right thing to do. So, a lot of you, let me see now, another show of hands, who's from this area? Who's from the Ohio area? Very cool. If you're from this area, when you go to the city, when you're saying, we're going into the city this weekend, your city is like Cincinnati, or Columbus, or Dayton, or something like that. When I say I'm going into the city, my city is Chicago. My city is the size of Singapore. So, and also, you'll notice that there was sort of a weird reaction in the crowd. When I say my city is Chicago, I might as well have just said my city is Kabul, Afghanistan. Because if you listen to the talk these days, if you've ever gone to Chicago, you're lucky to be alive. I love Chicago. It's one of my favorite cities. In fact, it is my favorite city. But when you grow up around Chicago, you're very spoiled because, and this is true, I lived in San Antonio for an entire month. It's a great city, but the first time we drove up to downtown San Antonio, I said out loud, completely seriously, "That's it? This is San Antonio, Texas. That's the Alamo." Apparently I forgot. Because I just totally talked down to this whole metropolitan area like the Duke of Snootinghamshire was looking at a peasant village. It's just, oh, look at these trite Texans with their hats. Their miserable peasant lives as I sit in my golden throne of 2.7 million people, 10 million in the Chicagoland area. That's more people than Sweden, by the way.
Oh my God.
So, I found myself on the Wikipedia page for a list of sports the other day. Doesn't matter why. And they are categorized by type, and it's very thorough. But at the very bottom of the list, there's a category labeled miscellaneous. And so I was thinking, what in the world could be a miscellaneous sport? I mean, they had everything above. Well, let me tell you. The first one is haggis hurling. It's very popular in Scotland. As you would know, actually, where's my kilt man? As you would know. In fact, you could probably describe it to us. Haggis hurling involves the hurling of haggis, as a surprise to no one, but it must be edible upon reaching the ground. The other one that I heard is extreme ironing. This is where you set up an ironing board at the top of a mountain and you iron something. According to the Wikipedia page, it combines the thrill of outdoor activity with the satisfaction of a well-pressed shirt. I'm down. Another one I heard about was ferret legging. I don't know what that is, but I feel like Alkali could probably tell us. And we'll have to ask him. And then the last one I heard was chess boxing. Chess boxing. It was originally created to be an art form in which you alternate playing rounds of chess and rounds of boxing. It's everything the title suggests. It is popular in Germany and Russia. The two places you would expect to have a sport like chess boxing. I have to say, now we're going to get into my mind for a moment. The mindset, thank you. The mindset that I am in when I go to Taco Bell at 3 in the morning is identical to the mindset I'm in when I first start looking at pornography for the night. Let me explain. So you're driving on the road and you go, oh fuck, I really think it's that time. I just feel like I need it, you know? So I look, I turn in, open my browser, whatever. I look at the display in front of me, I see what options are available to me, and everything looks so tasty and meaty, and I just take it all in, and I get up there and I have it, and it's just, I've lost track of what's happening. It is just messy, and it's all over the place. And I do know for a fact that I would not want my parents seeing what I just did. That is for sure. Haley! Oh.
Fun fact, Alkali showed me what ferret lighting was last night, and it is really weird. That's right, that's the best part.
And the reason that you have to have the haggis able to be eaten when you hurl it, because the other way of doing it is eating it first and then hurling it. All of Scottish cuisine is based on a dare. I dare you to eat that.
Alright, is anyone else brave enough to keep it going? You've had your hand up for quite a while. Why don't you come on up here, right in the back there? What should we call you? Nova? Alright, everybody give it up for Nova! Let's do it, man.
Alright. Test. Alright, I got it. Now, this is my first convention I've ever been to. You guys have been really awesome. Especially the fursuits are really creative. I mean, I've yet to see a 6-nipple demon cat. But, you know, nice to know. Alright, so I go by Nova, or the Navi, or Mid, or the guy that always has a cannon in his hand. So, first of all, I also spent like 18 years in a country in the middle of nowhere. So, you know, and I'm also a gaming enthusiast, so I'm also pretty much a wizard. There's not that many stories for me to share around, except a couple. Now, first question. How many of you guys are non-smokers? Non-smokers? Good, a lot of you.
Give me Cuban death.
Alright, now here's a nice tip. Non-smokers die every year. But yeah. Whenever I walk into a restaurant, sometimes you got people with those little trachea things. And sometimes I like to make a little joke about that. You know, I know it's bad, you know, that kind of thing, but you know, joke about people having that kind of problem. But imagine what it would be like if you continued to have this problem and you couldn't have room for another one. You just kept, it's like, I'm enjoying it. Oh man, can't stop. I just can't stop. It's starting to taste like shit. I think that's the point where you should stop smoking. But I'm also not a smoker myself, so yeah, that's good. Give myself a round of applause for that. Alright, so alright, kind of an embarrassing story. I was at Kings Island one time. Not sure if anybody went to Kings Island before or not. Yeah, Kings Island.
Everybody, let's have a hand for Noah! Not apologize. Don't apologize for getting up here. That takes all of the fucking effort in the world to do it, and it's such a fantastic. Everybody, keep going for everyone that has gone up today.
That's some gigantic balls, yes. Especially from the ladies.
That's right. Will you call everyone here with gigantic balls if I pay enough money?
I don't know.
All right, we got a taker. Everybody get balls tonight.
Balls!
Yeah!
Give me your
balls, everybody. 1, 2, 3. Balls! Do it one more time. 1, 2, 3. Balls! And pause, sure. Whatever you're fucking into, enjoy it tonight.
I thought it was paws, not balls.
Either one. We'd like to thank you all for coming out, enjoying this, listening to a party go on next to us.
Yes.
And would you like to say anything to the crowd? Sure.
Thank you.
Hey guys, thanks for coming for us testing this venue out. You know, looking out across the crowd, guys, I want to say this has been really special, and by special I mean that in that crash helmet wearing sort of way. But I'm going to quote something from my childhood to end this out. How many people here are familiar with the old school Muppet Show?
Yeah! I'm sure way.
Why would have wrong sound?
Do you remember the two old guys in the balcony?
Yeah!
Why Why do we always come here? I guess we'll never know. It's like a kind of torture to have to watch the show.